Our school, Michaelnagar Shikshaniketan, government-sponsored co-ed English medium higher secondary, has taken an excellent initiative in conducting online classes through YouTube channel. Even in this pandemic situation, our school did not step aback in providing and enhancing knowledge to the students. So, it's a request to the viewers, please like, comment and subscribe.
So today we are starting on the next part of the biodiversity and conservation of our last chapter, that is biodiversity hotspots. Now last day we talked about the basic idea, we came to know about the basic idea about biodiversity and its threats, right. So now we have to know about this specific thing which are known as hotspots. Now what are hotspots? Hotspots are specific regions over the earth's surface which is very rich in biodiversity. These are certain geographical areas, specific geographical areas which are very rich in biodiversity is also a land of endemic species. What are endemic species? I will tell you. Land of endemic species, and this biodiversity, they are under threat. So these are the 4 points that you need to remember while you are writing the definition of a biodiversity hotspot. So what is a hotspot? Hotspot is a specific geographical region on the earth's surface that is very much rich in biodiversity. That means it has whole lot of plants, animals and other microorganisms present over there, varied types, and it also has endemic species, and the biodiversity over there is certainly under threat. That means why under threat? Because there may be certain animals or plants over there which are endangered or which are on the verge of extinction, right. So that is hotspot. Now there are various types of hotspots throughout our world. Throughout the earth's surface there are various regions which are being regarded as hotspots. Among them, in India there are 4 hotspots. I will come to that later, but first let me tell what is endemic species. I have written here what do you mean by endemism? What is endemism? Now endemism means the biodiversity, or when one particular animal or a plant is only, or a microorganism, whatever, any living organism that is only available in one particular place throughout the earth's surface. That means you will not be able to find that particular species in anywhere of the world other than its own natural habitat in a particular place. That means suppose species A is present in West Bengal, but that particular species you will not be able to find it anywhere other than West Bengal. Obviously you can definitely find them in zoos, but not under natural habitat. They are not present. That means they are somehow, this endemism can be a result of various reasons. You know that endemism can be due to speciation, it can be, you do not know what speciation is, it can be due to the specific environment that is favorable in that particular place only. That is why those animals are able to survive over there, or those organisms are able to survive over there. So that is basically endemism. Now I have given some examples over here. For the number 1 example is Gangetic dolphin. Now have you, I hope many of you have seen Gangetic dolphins, because nowadays it is very rare to see. So we already we knew until now that dolphins are only present in oceans, but no, there are river dolphins as well. That means in the different rivers some dolphins are present, and they are known as river dolphins. And the dolphin which is specifically present in the Ganges, it is a separate species which is known as the Gangetic dolphin. So that means only in the Ganges river, that means in the Ganga river, this Gangetic dolphin is present throughout the world. You will not be able to find the Gangetic dolphin anywhere else. So that is why this is an endemic species. For example, the Asiatic lion, it is present in the Gir forest, right. So in the Gir forest in India, Asiatic lion is present. Asiatic lion is not available anywhere. Okay, the lion which we find in Africa, that is African lion. So they are a different species. Their subspecies are different actually. So that is Asiatic lion. Similarly, African elephant, Asian elephant. So these are the examples of certain endemic species. The lion-tailed macaque, that's a form of a primate. It looks like a monkey, but definitely not like a regular monkey. They are larger and they have a tail which looks like a lion tail. So that is why their name is known as the lion-tailed macaque. So anyways, these are certain, there are many other examples as well, but no need to remember all of them. Some of them you may be asked the definition and given and asked to give 2 examples. So in that case you can write any 2 examples. So that is it. So this is what endemism means. Okay. So now we are coming back to the hotspots in India. So which are the hotspots in India? The Eastern Himalayas, the Indo-Burma plate, that is which includes mainly the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands, the Western Ghats we know, and the Sunderland. Sunderland is actually down. I will just show you. Suppose this is, so this is suppose the map of India. So the Eastern Himalayas is obviously this part. This part is the Eastern Himalayas. So this is one of the, this is the Eastern Himalaya region. This is one of the hotspots. It resides, the Himalayas, they are the residence of whole lot of species, variety of species, birds, primates, other animals. They are very richly diverse area, the Himalayas. So that is why it is regarded as the hotspot. Now what else? The Western Ghats. Now Western Ghats we know, this is the Western Ghats. These are the Western Ghats. These are another diverse area in India, which is also regarded as a biodiversity hotspot. Some animals which are present over here is the Nilgiri tar. It's a type of deer, it looks like a deer. So Nilgiri tar is present over here. Eastern Himalayas is famous for Himalayan tar. It's a completely different species. Then we have the red panda. So these are certain endemic species which are present in the Eastern Himalayas and the Western Ghats. Other than that, there is Indo-Burma plate, which is generally the Andaman and the Nicobar area, this area suppose. This area is the Indo-Burma plate, which is included in India of course, the Andaman and the Nicobar region, that is also very much famous for its diverse biodiversity, diverse flora and fauna. So the things which are common over there, the white-eared night heron, it is a bird, heron is a bird. So specifically the white-eared night heron is famous over here, or it is present over here in this region, in the Indo-Burma plate. And the last one is the Sunderland, which is further down, the place which is below the Indo-Burma plate, that is the Sunderland. And what is present in Sunderland? The monkeys, elephants and so many other animals. They are very richly diverse area again. So these 4 regions are the biodiversity hotspots present in India. Okay, but we have to understand that, that means I have already told you about the different types of biodiversity threats which are actually destroying these areas. And we already know about the reasons, so I do not need to tell it again. So this is all about biodiversity hotspots. Okay. So now we are coming to the environmental problems in the Sundarbans. Now the Sundarbans, you all know, it is the largest mangrove forest in the world, right. we are very lucky to have the Sundarbans among us in our country, being a part of our country, but majorly the portion of Sundarbans is under the control of Bangladesh. Only a small part of Sundarbans is under India. Okay. So, before learning the environmental problems, I have just given you that why is the Sundarbans important. What is the reason behind this considering the Sundarbans important? Now, very first fact that you need to learn that it was being declared as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. UNESCO has declared the Sundarbans as a World Heritage Site. Why? Because of its richly diverse flora and fauna. Okay. So, why is the Sundarban important? Now, first of all, the Sundarban is important because of its unique mangrove forest, the halophytic mangrove vegetation, specifically the presence of a specific type of plants which are known as the Sundari plants. So, the mangrove vegetation, the unique mangrove vegetation is one of the reason why Sundarban is important. What else? Another important among there are so many other animals, but among them stands the king, which is the Royal Bengal tiger, which is of course now the face of Bengal. You can actually consider the Royal Bengal tiger the face of West Bengal currently. So, other species like marshy crocodiles, then there are deers, cheetal deers, etc., wild boars. There are so many other different types of animals, different types of variety of birds, they are present in the Sundarbans. So, it is richly diverse, okay, and the specifically unique mangrove vegetation is the reason why the Sundarbans has been considered very important, and it is one of the major reasons where due to the forest cover over there, it is very important because it actually helps in the balance of the ecosystem. We have already talked about that, balancing the environment. But now of course, the Sundarbans is under threat. Now, the possible reasons are just like the threats of the other biodiversity areas, but here I have listed down some and I will explain each one to you. The first one is urbanization. So, overpopulation is the reason. Because of this currently increasing, ever increasing population is actually increasing the demand of people living in specific areas. So, that is why what is happening, this mangrove forest, the mangrove cover is actually shrinking. It is shrinking due to the urbanization. So, if the mangrove forest they are shrinking, that means it is indirectly affecting the animals as well present over there. So, that is resulting in the habitat destruction. The habitat destruction of the animals. If you do not have, last day also I told, if there is no place to live, if the animals and the plants they do not have a place to live, so they will not be able to survive. So, urbanization is one of the reason, and having that is indirectly affecting the habitat destruction. Another important threat to the Sundarbans is the increasing agriculture, not only agriculture but also other commercial activities. Why? I will tell you as example, honey, production of honey is very much important, and Sundarban is one of the major sites, where this honey extraction process takes place, and in that process, what happens, the specific the beekeepers or those who go to take this honey out from the plants, from the bees, they have to go inside and they have cleared out a major amount of forest cover over there. So, that is one of the reason, and other agriculture, because if you have overpopulation in an area, then that means you require more food to sustain the humans over there. So, if there is more food demand, so that means agriculture need to be done, and if there is agriculture, then you have to clear the forest for the growth of crops over there, to prepare fields for that means to prepare the field for agriculture, you need to clear out forests. So, that is another reason for the threat to the Sundarbans. What else? The fresh water crisis. Now, we know that Sundarban is a delta. Sundarban is a delta which is a confluence which is produced by two rivers, one is Ganga and the other is Brahmaputra. The Ganga Brahmaputra delta is actually forming this area in the extreme southern portion of West Bengal, that is forming the Sundarban area. So that means it also has the marine water from the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal, I am very sorry, from Bay of Bengal, water from Bay of Bengal, and so it is a confluence, you know, so there is salty water over here. So due to the presence of salty water, fresh water crisis is seen. Moreover, what happens due to the increasing what is happening actually, the ocean level, the sea level is actually rising day by day due to global warming. Due to global warming, the sea level is rising day by day, as a result of which there is freshwater crisis even more right now. So, since this rising of the sea level, another problem is happening, that is the submergence of the different types of islands. The different types of smaller islands which are present near the end of the delta, they are getting submerged due to the sea level rising of the Bay of Bengal. What else? Pollution, another very important reason. Urbanization will lead to pollution. So, again this is indirectly affecting this. Then what else? Modification in the prey predator balance. Now, if you do not have, if you are having all these reasons, habitat destruction is there, freshwater crisis is there, urbanization, agriculture, all these reasons, what is happening? People are, except this, there is also another very important cause for the threat of Sundarbans is poaching and hunting. Poaching and hunting. Now, that is also killing a large amount of animals over there. So, if the animals are decreasing, if the animals they are decreasing in number, another reason for the decreasing in the animals is the reduction of the forest covers. That means, if the mangrove vegetation is increasing, that means the herbivores, they are also not getting their food. That means the cheetal deers who reside on these grasses and the leaves of the plants, they are not getting their food, and if they are not getting their food, then they will die, and if they are dying, then the tigers and the other top predators, they are having the problem. So, that is why what is happening, the prey predator balance is under threat. The normal balance of the prey predator relationship is not possible or is increasingly getting difficult in Sundarbans. So, that is indirectly affecting the ecosystem, thus affecting the biodiversity as a whole. So, these are the different environmental problems which we find in Sundarbans. Now, this is one important question that is coming that may come in the Madhyamik, that what are the reasons that Sundarbans, you can be asked taking one example of an animal also, that what is the reason of the Royal Bengal tiger getting depleted, or that there is a decrease in number in the Royal Bengal tiger in the Sundarbans. Though now we have controlled it, that means there are huge initiatives being taken by the government of India to protect all this area, specifically the Sundarbans, and to some extent we have also succeeded also, and specifically the Project Tiger, we already know the Project Tiger, it is a project that was started by our former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So, Project Tiger is one of the most famous projects, and it has been successfully working on the increase in number of the Royal Bengal tiger. Not only the Royal Bengal tiger in Sundarbans, but also the tiger population all over the country. Okay. So, these are some of the initiatives. Definitely the government are taking various initiatives, but the government needs to act much more. Not only the government, I think it is also necessary that the common people around, the government alone cannot do anything, right. We ourselves have to be responsible enough to understand, also aware, it is our duty also to aware not only ourselves but our neighbors and everyone, that what is the importance of biodiversity in our world, and what will happen if these animals, they get extinct day by day, right. And what kind of problems, then one day we are also going to die, because we cannot live alone. So, all these reasons are definitely the environmental problems which are seen in the Sundarbans. So, with this I come to the end of this class. On the next class, we will be discussing other parts of the chapter. Thank you.
Subscribe. Click on the bell. Like, comment, share.